welcome back. We're back with another video. What's up, guys? What's up, ladies and gents? Cats and jiggles. I don't know.
Cats
What's
and
going on?
dogs.
Yeah.
We're back, another video. Like, subscribe, share, comment, let us know how you feel. Follow, the Lou and Mo podcast. The logo and everything is being made, so it's gonna come out beautifully. CB Lifestyle Apparel, Dirty Hands, Clean Money.
You get it.
Check us out. Always dropping new product. I stand by every product I drop, so check me out.
We don't put out bad products.
No, we don't. So like I said, we were talking about, like I said, every day the world's turning, shit's going on, and every day there's something to talk about and there's something to discuss or whatever.
Always something.
Always something. But we were talking about, we read some articles about the wealth gap and how that's, people are focusing on that and they're trying to get that to, I don't know, they're trying to fix it. I don't know how they're doing it, but that's a big thing that people are talking about now, right?
Yeah.
Like the wealth between the rich and the poor, that is something that we could talk about. And then there's, even between that, there's between different races of people.
And classes.
Well, the class is rich and poor, middle class, and then they're saying, even in those,
then they're talking about
white
racial
people,
status.
black people, they have, actually Asians,
Asians,
then
yeah.
whites, and then
Yeah.
So, we're talking about that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, overall, I don't believe in just giving money out for sure. I just want to give money to the poor. Maybe we can help them, for sure. But
Look at the camera.
oh, damn, you're right. I know you fucking.
No, I was just telling you, you never looked at the camera.
Yeah, I'm talking to him, or I'm talking.
Look at the
around.
camera. You make sure you look at it.
All right, I'm talking to you.
better
See, listen up. But overall, it's a weird thing to have giving money. It's enabling, and the worst thing you could do to somebody who's unmotivated, who doesn't really want to do anything, but they just get handouts. That, trust me when I tell you, I know plenty of them. They don't want to do that. They're just gonna get the money, and even if we did give them the money, what are they gonna do with it? They never earned it.
I kind of compare it to like kids, right?
Yeah.
Everybody says like you can't give kids money. They just give it to them. They have to earn it, right?
Correct.
If I just give my son money every week, and he doesn't do any chores and doesn't learn any responsibility, everybody's against that, right?
Right.
But as adults, we're saying it's okay.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you don't break the difference between a boy and a man, is that he has to earn that responsibility. He has to understand that responsibility and actually implement it in his life. And once he starts getting better and better at the thing that he's doing, or at least have some type of work ethic, basically going to work, maybe a job you don't want to work, but you have to because you got bills to pay. It's just part of being a man.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the whole point. Is like that's what I say too. Is but we doing it as adults. We just give it away, and we think that's gonna fix the problem. I don't understand how.
Now, if you think about it global on the world scale, doing the same thing basically, we would just talk.
We do that now. We do that domestic aid, right? USA gives out domestic aid to, I don't even know how many countries. I probably could look it up, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
I'll probably post it up on the thing after we have the conversation. But they give out domestic aid to a lot of countries, and it's kind of like you're not really helping the country when you give the domestic aid to the government, and the government figures, oh, they're gonna spread it this way. Some of them are corrupt. They take the money. Right?
You never know where it's going.
Well, now we're getting to global. I don't want to get global.
Yeah,
we can talk about that, but I'm just saying, as far as we're talking about, just wealth and everything. But these are all things that all have the same concept, right? Because we're just giving money. We don't know where it's going, and it's not really fixing the issue, right? Because we're looking at videos in the 80s and the 70s, and they're talking about the same thing that's going on now.
Yep.
So all
maybe
those,
a little bit more intelligently, but
yeah, and they're not yelling at each other and telling each other and trying to cancel each other. But they had the same concept. It's that as Thomas Sowell says, like the vision of the anointed one, where you think like you have this, you're gonna fix it. Right? You're the one. You're the savior. Right? You're gonna fix it because you have the idea. And there's a bunch of people that think like that. They just want to help, and I just need to help these people.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it's gonna really help them. You know what I mean? Like you can want to, but to really help people, I think people have a messed up concept of helping.
What's the
people.
difference between concept and like an ideology? right? You have an ideology, and it's your idea, right? Your baby. You want to make this thing work super, super bad. But overall, it's not what we said last time. It's not good for everybody. And not only that, it may or may not be the best thing. It may not be the best
somebody's
solution
not
because
gonna,
you want to push the idea.
Yeah, it's not going to work for somebody.
Yeah.
That's one thing I tell you we were talking about before with the government is any legislation that you put in place or that you vote for is not going to be good for everybody.
Yeah.
There's no. We talked about this.
Yeah.
If you bring it up, we can find there's always a reason why it's not going to be good for somebody, and that's just facts. Because we got 330 million people just in the country, and we all don't think the same. We all don't believe in the same thing. We all don't work for the same thing. We all don't pursue the same dreams. It's a mixture. So
you know what's really interesting about what we talked about last week too, with that same concept was, remember we spoke about Pete,
a
mechanic and Teslas and electric cars, and he'll be out of work. He goes, well, maybe you could do this there. And I was like, hey, why didn't I talk to you before? He's like, it's a good point because you have to evolve. So I would be more of a tire guy, right? Or like, what did he say? He said tires and something else. And he's like, cars always need that. And the tires are more expensive, so I have to be an expert at those specific tires. And now I found a niche.
No, but you have to make sure that
you have to change the business a little bit, but it would still, he has to evolve.
He has to evolve. But evolving costs money.
100%.
See, this is another thing.
And
I get all that.
Education.
I get it. There's always goals, but because no matter what you do, where you're at now, in a few years, your trade or your job or your career is going to change.
Yeah.
That's just the way it's been going. That's the way life is. In the 70s, if you were an engineer, engineering now is going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
If you were a teacher, teaching is going to be different. It's just the way it is. Plumbing, trade is different than now. So that's fact. You have to evolve. But that takes time, and that takes money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? For him to be an expert at certain things, he's going to have to evolve and learn. Pay money to actually learn, or be able to get a better. He has a better deal on tires.
Yeah.
Then he can do that, but you know what I mean. Those are things that he's gonna have to. It's gonna cost money. So today, tomorrow, that I'm gonna shut down.
Yeah, it's like
oil cars.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a chance.
Right.
He doesn't have a chance to evolve.
But that's life.
Yeah.
It's just life.
Yeah. So that's why I said to be able to do that, you have to. But like I said, this is my whole point. I'm not saying that electric cars don't save the world, right? Or save the climate.
Right.
I'm saying you're gonna save the climate, but you're gonna kill
jobs.
100,000, 1,000,000 people that are mechanics and that are involved in that area, in that field.
Doing that. Yeah.
So don't act like it's like, oh, this is great, and everybody's because they're not. There's gonna be some people that are pissed off. And you're like, why are you so mad? I'm saving the environment. He's like, bro, I don't have no money.
You took my job.
Like I can't eat. Right now, you just took my whole career. So
thanks,
that's the only thing. You gotta look into that. Yeah, you gotta look into stuff like that. But as far as the gap, we were talking about it too, and we were going back and forth. Is I think we were talking about, like they said, I don't know the exact number. They said the top 25 richest people in the world own like I forgot the number. It's a large percent of money.
Yeah.
But the only thing is. Okay, I get that part.
They listed it in race. Is that the one you're talking
No, they did it. The top 25 are all white,
yeah.
Besides one guy. One guy is, I think, Chinese. The guy who made Zoom.
Yeah.
And they own like $2 trillion worth of the wealth in our country.
Yeah.
But the only thing I'll say about that, like we talked about just a few minutes ago, was it's not finite.
Yeah.
Right. So that $2 trillion could be $3 trillion eventually.
Right.
That money keeps growing. We don't never have a finite number of money or a finite number of.
We're stopping at 35.
Yeah. Oh,
really?
Because that's when they say about the gap is they make it sound like there's a finite number that is sitting up here, $3 trillion. That's all that's in America, and you can only get a certain amount out of it, and then that's it. There's no more money. But we keep making more products, and people keep spending more money, and we keep growing. That's how our economy keeps growing, because we keep making more innovations and more people are opening more businesses, and that's creating more money that's not being spent, that's being spent.
But then when you talk about printing money,
see, that's the bad thing. We can't do that because eventually
then it devalues the dollar.
It values it up.
Yeah.
From what I
we got to play with the money that we got and grow it.
Yeah, just keep growing money, but if they make more products for more people to spend money on, because as people, our country grew because we were at 280 million, and now we're at 330 million.
Right.
I think like 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So we got more people, So of course, if they have more jobs, they create more money, and that's just how it keeps going. But you gotta have, I think you gotta have money to exchange for that to happen.
Sure.
Right? So the gap is, if it gets to race, that's a whole nother story. I think if we focused on, if people were more focused on, but anyways, like, what are we gonna do to fix it?
Yeah, well, that's the issue. Really.
Like, if Jeff Bezos worth 180 billion, how am I gonna fix that? What's the fix for that? What is the fix that you're pursuing for that?
There's no. He's just gonna keep growing. He's gonna keep doing what he's
But
doing.
what do you want to do? You want him to give away his money, or you want to take his money from him? I don't know. I don't know where you go from there.
Yeah, I don't get it.
If he created something and everybody's buying it and all over the world and it's just happening, like, I don't understand what the solution is that people, when they talk about the rich, they always say, oh, the rich are getting rich and the poor.
Yeah, but you were bringing up the other day too that, let's say we were talking about how much money everybody makes and how much everything's worth. And if we take away the richest people in the world, take them off that list, right?
Well, I was bringing it up for race-wise.
Race-wise.
Because, when we say that, we're saying, like, there's I think the 1619 Project, or one of them things, they talk about the wealth gap, right? They say that black people are worth like $17,000, and white people as a whole are worth like $193,000.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So the gap is so large. But I was saying that if you I think if you're including, I don't know if these stats are included, but if they are including Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, those top 25 trillion, I think that number is just, that's why it's so crazy.
Yeah.
I think if you take them out, if they're not including it and it's that far, then we can talk about that too.
Yeah.
But I think if they are, which I think they are, take them out and just leave the regular working, middle class people, and I think that number gets closer.
Right.
Because I don't really know white people that are worth $193,000.
I don't know another one.
And that's crazy to me. Like, and I know white people, so it's like, I know white people, I know black people. I don't know anybody who's worth $190,000. But even if that is a gap, one of the main things I think part of that gap is a house.
Yeah.
Right? So if I buy a house
and
then my son inherits that house, and he's already $100,000, $200,000 ahead, so he is in that $200,000 gap.
That bracket, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but that's got to be an important part about buying a home and then eventually paying it off and then passing it on.
Right.
Which was back in the days, that was a thing.
Yeah.
Now we're not really
doing that as much
or focusing on it. I don't hear people talk about it.
Passing it down.
Yeah, or life insurance. These are different things. Like, these could change income. You could change, like, wealth. Like, if I die, my son gets $1 million.
It's down the road. I think you're thinking
rich
down the road. You're not thinking. A lot of people aren't doing that. They're thinking about right now. What can they get right now? How do they live right now? You start thinking about your kid. You start thinking about your kids' kids. The whole game changes. And now you have to implement things that are gonna grow. They're gonna grow, even when you're not here, even when you're gone.
Well, see, but then this goes against everything that we're being pushed toward, because now it's all stuff up to us. Mm-hmm. Now it's all our choices, our thoughts. These are things that we can change. We can, move in life. If you go from the other side, which most time is liberal or left side, is you don't have control over it.
Yeah.
It's just a system.
Right.
It's the way it works. Like, you don't have control over it.
Right.
You can change whatever you want. You can change your habits. You could do this. You're still gonna lose because you are a certain race. Right. And see, that's what I'm saying. The things we're talking about is you can do it. There's ways. This and that. We can change it slowly but surely. Right? If that gap is really real, though, that's what I'm saying. That's the whole point again.
That's the point.
See, that's the whole point. It goes back to is it really real? Is it really there? Is it really something that is because of this? We don't talk about that. Because once you show me the number and you're like, oh, that's it. America's systematic racism. Because white people are worth 193 and black people are 17. But then when they show Chinese people and they're worth 220,000, I don't know. They're just an anomaly. They're probably making sense.
It's just annoying.
Because Asians are worth more money.
Yeah, that's
so
the
where's
thing
the race
thing? Up too, the Asian portion.
Where's the race thing? I don't understand. They're okay with Asians being racist. They don't like black people.
I don't see it. I don't see them coming out right now and being like, well, what about us too? You forgot about us.
Because they're already the richest. I mean, they already make more, so they're like, all right, well, it's gonna be quiet. And
I don't hear the Hispanic community going, hey, what the?
Yeah,
Always. You guys are always forgetting about us. No, they just go to work. Just
Like-
make business.
So like I said, these things can go on for days. But you know, follow, like, subscribe, share.
If you have any ideas, comment below. All right, guys. Change the way you think.